Hello, I'm Adriana. I'm a Master SoulPath Teacher and Guide. And today is a collective message, and I'm opening up the space to channel energy and words from the higher guidance, from our guides, from our angels, from our loved ones on the other side. We're just going to see where this takes us. Now, as I'm getting the cards ready, I just want to mention a couple things. This video and this channel is really for those who are interested in growth and interested in becoming their best self. I have been on the spiritual journey for about 10 years now. I've been working very hard every day to work on my vibration, let go of the denser energy so that I can connect with the higher vibration energies from the other side. And this has been a process. It continues to be a process. It's gotten to the point where even when I'm in kind of lower places, because let's face it, we all struggle, there are still parts of me that can connect to that higher guidance. So I want to encourage you wherever you are on this path, whether you're starting or you're not, or you're farther along, we all go through the highs and lows. We all can't help it. We're human. Right? But we all have the ability, if we focus and work hard enough, to stay connected to that true inner voice, even in our moments of struggle. So I'm not sure why I'm telling you this, but I feel I need to share it with you. Okay, we're just going to start here, see what comes out. We are with the Five of Fire. Five of Fire is asking us to stand up tall, to stand up for ourselves in the face of adversity. And these are about facing doubts, whether they're the doubts in yourself or they are coming from other people doubting you. This is about standing up to doubt. And just trying to tie it through with what I was talking about, if you're in one of those places where you're doubting your purpose, or you're doubting yourself, or, you know, why is this happening? Why am I here? Why do I keep choosing this? This is about facing that doubt. And about understanding that when we're asked to be bigger, more expansive, more loving, more courageous than we think we are, of course, we're going to be met with doubt. But I really want to go into doubt a bit deeper with you right now. And let's explore how doubts are formed in the first place. Doubts are formed because we forget about our unlimited potential. The minute we are born, we're named, right? And that name is in some ways a limitation, because names have a vibration, and I do believe we choose our names, but our names define us. And whenever you set definitions on something, you also set limits. And that's good and bad, right? Because if we never have limits, then I don't know that we have focuses. But sometimes when we have limits, we don't want to break them, or we forget that it's just an arbitrary limitation. I mean, in all reality, your soul has had many different names across many different lifetimes because it's had different purposes and different lessons to learn. But, you know, any type of definition can be limiting. And, you know, when we are in a world where we're defined a lot by the outside, by who our parents raise us to be, by the jobs we have, by the way we look, even by our astrology. Now, I have a different theory about astrology, but we can get really stuck in limitations, and we forget that limitations are there for us to push. Limits are there for us to go beyond, right? Someone sets a record. It's up to us to want to break it. We have something we can do today. Maybe we can do better tomorrow. Maybe we can go farther beyond tomorrow. So sometimes we're asked to step outside of our box and step outside our comfort zone. And because we're afraid, or we have that doubt. The doubt says, no, I don't want to step outside my comfort zone. No, I can't do that. And so just remember, the doubt is coming not from your higher self. The doubt is coming from the human self, the self that has learned from other people that we're not limitless, which we are. We are limitless. We are unbounded. But just remember that it's not coming from your higher self. Okay? It's coming because your higher self is asking you to do something different, but it is not from your higher self. And so I hope that's going to help you sort out through some of the confusion you've been going through. Those doubts are not from your higher self. Four of Water and the Ace of Fire. I get the sense that you want to start something new. This could be a new identity, a new sense of self. It could be a new journey, so a new vocation, a new calling. But you're feeling like no one's seeing it. Four of Water. You're feeling like other people are blind to this new self. And because they're not seeing it and they're not reacting to it or responding to it in a way that you would see as encouraging, some of this is coming back up, those doubts. Okay? Now, all callings truly start on the inside. Someone may point it out to you, but if you haven't heard that nudge from your soul, it's really not going to resonate deeply with you when someone else points it out. You know, that's what I love about doing readings for people, is that I get to help clarify what they already know, what you already know. It's just there's so many layers and there's so much doubt and there's so much conditioning. There's so many patterns of self-sabotage that sometimes we miss that essential core. And when I love helping people connect with that essential core, because you just see like this lightness and this relief and this, oh my gosh, now I know which way I need to go now. It's so rewarding. I really love it. But what I'm trying to say is that there's nobody on the outside that knows better than you. As a reader, all I do is clarify what you know. Because if I didn't, I would be disempowering you. Maybe I'm also tapping into a bit of your soul that's a bit down the road, that you've heard whispers but not a loud voice yet. So it seems like it's new information. But if it doesn't strike you strongly, then it's not truly yours. Okay? It has to be written in your soul before you feel the calling to do it, before you feel the pull to do it. It has to be already written in there. Okay, so you're relying on the wrong sense for validation. You're relying on someone who just doesn't have eyes for where you are, and maybe doesn't even understand where you are because they're on their own journey. They're in their own space of trying to figure themselves out, and they may not even be trying to figure themselves out. They may just be looking at themselves. This is not someone who's very attentive or very aware of those around them. They tend to be in their own world a lot of the times. They tend to be pretty lost in their own world, I want to say. And because of that, they can only project their own limitations onto you. So if they say, well, that makes no sense, you're crazy, that's because that's how they feel about themselves. If we really had the true alignment with how our soul sees us, we would see that nothing is impossible. We just have such strong conditioning based on what we tell ourselves, based on what other people tell us, what we see around us, what we're bombarded with through different medias. It gets really strong in there. You know, that's sometimes why when someone's creating something, like a writer is creating a novel or writing poetry or writing a play, or an artist, you go off by yourself. And, you know, for me, when I do art, I have to be by myself. I'm not really one of these people that can go to a creatives gathering and we all paint together. I can't do that, because when I paint, I go inside, I listen, and I have no idea what's coming out on my brush next. Like when I did these behind me, I had no idea what they were going to look like, but I follow where my voice is taking me, where my inner voice is taking me, and where my feelings are. If there's other people around, I can't focus in on that as strongly. So that's part of the reason why you are alone, because this is such a new journey for you. This is such a new sense that you're not even sure what it is. You're not even totally comfortable in it. And anyone else's input is going to sway you from what your true path is. And so this is actually a blessing in disguise. This person seeming ignoring or neglecting of you is actually a blessing in disguise. Judgment, second time judgment has come out. 6 of water, Elder of fire. Now the Elder of fire is the culmination of the Ace of fire. Are these connected? Yes, these are connected. So in order for you to come to the fruition you're seeking, the new identity, the new vocation, the new path where no one has gone before, you're going to have to leave behind your past. You're going to have to leave behind who you thought you were in the past, what worked for you in the past, and your sense of comfort about the past. 6 of water talks about it, nostalgic, looking back at the past, but the judgment is asking us to rise above it. And I feel like you're going to have to make a judgment about your past. And it's going to be something like, you know, that got me so far. I'm grateful it got me so far, but it's not going to be able to take me on this new journey. So, or it's not going to be able to move forward with me. So I need to release it and take something new. I saw the silliest back to school commercial yesterday where this unicorn backpack was talking to the little girl saying, I'm going to miss you, you know, don't forget me. And the girl's like, oh, of course I won't miss you. But then she opens up her new backpack, or the package with her new backpack, and the backpack is much bigger and it's got all these compartments, and she's over the moon and she's already forgotten about that poor unicorn. But that's kind of like what's happening here, that you need to honor the past for what it gave you, but don't hold on to it. It's not big enough for you. That definition, or the places you were playing before, that's playing too small. You're in a much bigger realm. You're going to enter a much bigger setting where you're going to have to bring more leadership to the table. And this fire is really opening up new opportunities for you to be seen, to be heard, and to come into more confidence about who you really are and what you have to offer. Okay. Queen of water. All right, I do believe this message is for me because I've been getting this in a couple different ways, but I feel it's for you too if you're watching this video. This is talking about intuitive channeling. All right, I think that channeling gifts are becoming stronger. I think the other side is wanting to come through us in a much stronger way than we have been either allowing them to or able to do in the past. So the Queen of Water is asking us to get emotionally okay with that, to get emotionally okay with our intuition being stronger, with our channeling gifts being stronger, with our relationship with the other side getting stronger. Okay, so there's a little bit of heart work that needs to go on. There's some really opening your heart to this possibility, opening your heart to their presence, opening your heart to the words. Sometimes, and maybe this is just true for me, you'll have to let me know in the comments if you feel this way or otherwise. Sometimes it's the act of channeling that scares me because I don't know what I'm going to say. And, you know, as someone who tends to think, well, it's not true. I don't always think before I speak. A lot of times when I do these videos, I don't think before I speak. But when I'm speaking one-on-one with someone, I'm always waiting a second or thinking a second before I say something. So when you're channeling, you're not in control of what's coming out. But we have to trust that what is coming out is for the highest good of those around us. And I think this is where getting aligned in our hearts is really important. Getting okay in our hearts with this, embracing this talent or embracing this ability. Yeah, because we're trying to give birth to a new future. This is the 4 of fire with the Empress. And it's funny, the Empress is pregnant, but the 4 of fire is also about a birth. So this is that new gift that we're birthing, and we need to be okay with it. When you're pregnant, you kind of don't really know what's going to come out of you, right? If you've done a sonogram, you know if it's going to be a boy or a girl, but you really know nothing about the child. Really, you don't. You're not going to know until they're out, and then you're not even really going to know until they've probably graduated and left for college, who you actually gave birth to, right? Because it keeps evolving. But as a parent, you know that you're going to love them no matter what. No matter what comes out, you're going to love them no matter what. And that's the approach that we're being asked to have right now. No matter what the gift is, you're going to love it. No matter what comes out of your mouth, you're going to know that it's coming in a spirit of love, because the other side is working in a spirit of love with us. So loving the gift, loving the self, it's loving the mother and the child. So loving the self as well as what is coming out of you. And I feel like, okay, this is weird. I'm getting kind of a cramp in my right hand, and the right, I just struggle with the masculine side of myself because it wants to be in control too much. So isn't that what I'm talking about? Like the right hand doesn't have a handle, doesn't have a hand in what's going to be said or where this is going. But this right hand is going to have to learn how to trust, because when there's a depth also that I feel is going to come out, like we're going to be able to see things deeper and see into things even more. And that's a scary gift sometimes, but the whole point of being able to go to the depth is so that we can heal things at the deepest level. And that's also judgment. Judgment is Pluto. Pluto is depth, healing, destruction, but also rebirth. So that is the point, is that this is all about healing. This is all about coming back together. And when, this hand is so bothering me, when we allow ourselves to become part of that, we're part of everything changing. We're part of everything being uplifted. We're part of this deeper healing that is happening because we have been broken for so long in ourselves, in the way we interact with the earth, in the earth itself, in our culture, in our world together. We have been broken, but we're part of this healing. And I think that's something to keep in mind too, that it's not just about you. It's about something bigger than you. And there is no greater joy than releasing the self, you know? That's why I love doing paintings. That's why I love doing readings, because the self gets out of the way and something bigger comes through. And when the self is out of the way, a bigger calm comes through, a bigger sense of peace comes through. And that's really the best experience. The ego can't bring any experience close to that peace or calm, because when we're connected, that is the higher energy, the peace and calm. So as you go about this process, just remember that you're staying in your peace, you're staying in your calm, because you aren't alone. You might think that you're the only one that sees you, but you're not. The other side sees you. Everyone around you that resonates at this frequency will see you. It's just you need to learn how to see yourself first, and then you'll see that others see you as well. All right. Thank you so much for joining me. If any of this resonated, I'd love to hear from you in the comments. And if you'd like a reading, I'd be happy to do one for you. Soul Guidance with Adriana. if you'd like to learn more and sign up for one. And I'll look forward to seeing with you soon. Link is in the description below.